We got Epstein going around. We got a massive cover-up. Like, you know, Trump's personal lawyer. I mean, Nancy Mace. Look at what she put, dude. Look at this shit. She said President Trump released the Epstein files and was exonerated. Not Biden, not Obama, not Bush, Donald J. Trump. Like, dude. Dude. Hello? Like, how is there not, like, there should be 100 fucking community notes there. You know what I mean? And look at her. She's doing an interview with Mario Nawfal. Like, bro, a total, like, propagandist. Look at this. What is with his chia head, bro? This guy's literally got a chia head. Look at this shit, though.
How much control does Trump have over the DOJ at the moment, in your opinion?
I'm not the president, so I can't speak to that or any of those conversations, but he signed this bill into law. He's the president. It wasn't Biden. It wasn't Obama. It wasn't Bush that released the files. I think that he's got some folks around him that have given him bad counsel, because if he had just said, you know, if they had just told him, hey, all the files exonerate you, let's release them all the way 8 months ago, we wouldn't be talking about this going into the midterms. And maybe by now, 8 months later, with a high profile release of files 8 months ago, people could be seeing jail time or be indicted for participating in, I think, what's going to go down as one of the biggest global sex trafficking networks in American history. So we could be further down the road with holding people accountable, because here's the thing. The world is watching. Our children are watching. And we must show them what we're made of. And there are other countries, much smaller than ours, with fewer participants in this thing, that are doing more to hold those accountable who were participating in the sex trafficking ring with Jeffrey Epstein.
See, dude, first off, look at her face, bro. How many drugs is this woman doing, dude? What is going on with her? She is aged like 100 years. But guys, she is like that line about, oh, if somebody had told him everything in the files exonerates you, you should just release it all. Like, dude, there is no way everything in those files, none of it exonerates Donald Trump. Like, her entire take on the Epstein files is completely separated from reality. Like, Trump is guilty as shit. His personal lawyer is covering this up. Somebody from Florida, the Florida Attorney General that helped bury this shit for years, is the Attorney General. Everybody in the Trump DOJ are like his people, specifically like burying this shit to protect him. They're not even looking for the truth or people to prosecute. They're merely looking for the appearance of Trump having done nothing wrong. I mean, first off, dude, Todd Blanche, even being involved in this thing, it makes me livid, okay? He is Trump's personal fucking lawyer. Why is Trump's personal lawyer allowed to be the guy in charge of the Epstein scenario? Right? I mean, give me a fucking break, dude. That is like the biggest conflict of interest. That is the biggest con job. Like, I mean, that should be illegal right there. Okay? That right there is like just the biggest ginormous problematic thing ever, that the guy whose name is in those files in the number 2 slot, Jeffrey Epstein's name appears most often. The second most often name in those files isn't even Ghislaine Maxwell. It's Donald Trump, and his personal lawyer is in charge of this thing. Dude, that is a problem, okay? That is a massive, massive problem. This whole thing is like trying to make Trump look like he's not guilty, but he is guilty as shit. And she's running around saying, oh, he is so not guilty, but people around him are giving him bad information. Like, oh my God, but dude, what the is that? I mean, we know what she's doing. She is totally polishing the Trump knob, hoping he helps her win the governorship in South Carolina. But like, dude, this really pisses me off.
And like, these girls were brainwashed. They were the poorest of the poor, the most vulnerable, living in trailer parks that were desperate for money, in and out of juvie, runaways that had deep problems at home, parents in prison. You know, he picked the kids who were most vulnerable, who were desperate, and he preyed upon them, and he taught them and groomed them to prey on others. And it's devastating to have over 1,000 victims and one accomplice. That's just not humanly possible.
Dude, but again, she won't acknowledge Trump's role at all. I mean, dude, the whole time Epstein was building this network, he was literally Trump's best friend. But her take on it is that Donald Trump is not involved. Trump is exonerated. Dude, that's brutal, man. And I mean, people in here are obviously like shredding her. Everybody is shredding her because he's not exonerated at all. He's literally the number 2 guy. Dude, she is vile. Man, see, this is what's hard though, guys. We're at the state where Trump said he was going to release all this stuff. It was his campaign promise because he was, you know, not involved at all. And then as soon as he wins, they find out all of this shit and how it's tied to Trump, and they cover it up. He says it's a hoax. And then they force him to release the shit. And now, though, we have a whole bunch of people like Nancy Mace signed that discharge petition. She forced the coming forward of these files, but now she's a wolf. She was acting like she was a sheep that was helping force this out into the light, but now she becomes a wolf that is protecting Trump after the fact. And this has been going on since the beginning of the Epstein case. It reminds me of the writer from the Daily Mail that originally interviewed Virginia Giuffre in 2012. Virginia Giuffre came forward and said that she had been by Prince Andrew. She was the first person coming forward from the Epstein survivors, and she named names. And so a writer from the Daily Mail named Sharon Church went to Virginia Giuffre in Australia and said, I want to do your story. I think you should go on the record. She was, Daily Mail is about Prince Andrew. So Sharon Churcher sat down with Virginia Giuffre and wrote a piece, a big piece about her and Prince Andrew. But what she did was she paid Virginia Giuffre and she signed her up to an exclusive. So for a long period of time, no other reporters could interview her. Okay. And the fact that she paid Virginia Giuffre made it look like Virginia Giuffre was only making those allegations for money. And then she told Virginia Giuffre to write a first-person account of this, but to change people's names and to not put all the details, like mix it up. So everything's in there, but it's not all from the same people, so you're not telling the story too true. So Virginia Giuffre wrote something like that then got used against her in a deposition. Now, the reason why I said that whole thing felt a little bit like a setup is because it put the Virginia Giuffre story out into the world, but then no U.S. journalist could interview her. Nobody could question her about Epstein here. She was under this exclusive contract for a while, and then she got paid, so everyone questioned her credibility. And then later, that little journal of information with all the names changed made it look like she was making shit up and lying. So that reporter kind of screwed her, right? And I actually think Epstein and Prince Andrew cooked that up. I think they outed the story, but they sent Sharon Churcher in there to set up Virginia Giuffre to play the long game because they knew it was coming out anyway. So I think they set her up. I think they actually put that story out there themselves, but in a way that they could then deny it and make her look bad. I mean, it's pretty diabolical and dirty, dude. That shit is dirty. And Nancy Mace is doing the same shit, where Nancy Mace signed the discharge petition to be this victim's advocate, and now she is hindering this thing every step of the way and purposely protecting Donald Trump while simultaneously trying to make it seem like everybody's dropping the ball. But she'll never hold Trump accountable, man. It's so beat, bro. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.